Welcome to VLearn's online class. In this session, we will discuss about the integrity constraints and normalization process. And the topics to be covered under this section are the different database integrities, relational database integrities, and then redundancy and associated problems with redundancies, and different single value dependencies, normalization and different forms of normalization. First of all, integrity constraints. There can be various integrity constraints like key constraints, attribute constraints, referential integrity constraints, and global constraints. And the purpose of applying these integrity constraints are to prevent semantic inconsistencies in data. For example, if we take CNAME, savings, check, and total. For example, CNAME and BNAME, if we have CNAME and BNAME and BCity, then there is no entry for the Kenmore in this table. Then in this case, to prevent this inconsistencies, these type of inconsistencies, integrity constraints are used. There are four types of integrity constraints like key constraint. Firstly, key constraints are used to define the keys or used to create the primary keys. Second is attribute constraints, different type of attribute constraints that we can apply like check constraint and default constraint and all. Referential integrity constraint to specify the foreign keys and global constraints. First is key constraint. That is primary key. Means whenever you want to create a table by using the SQL command, then you have to specify some things, that is the name of the table, then the name of the attributes, the data type in which the values of the particular attributes are stored, and the constant. For example, in this way or in this example, create table is a command, and if you want to create a table named branch, then we give the command that is create table space branch. Then the field name is branch name, branch city and assets. Branch name will contain the data of character types. So here we specify the data type char, and the size of branch name is 15. Means maximum 15 characters can be stored in branch name. Similarly, branch city, the data type of branch city is also of character type, and the total number of characters that can be inserted or that can be written in the branch city is 20, and assets is of integer type. Or if you want to create BNAME a primary key, then we have to specify a constraint, you can say key constraint, to specify the primary key here. This is the way you can create a primary key. Next is candidate key. Now, there can be more than one candidate keys in a table. Candidate keys, to specify the candidate keys, we have to use the keyword that is unique. The unique constraint, when applied to any field, then the field with unique constant can take only unique values, means duplicacy cannot occur if we specify the unique constant. For example, in this case, SSN, customer serial number, we take in character data type with 9 character and we specify it as primary key. Then customer name of character type and the total size is 15 characters. Address we also specify in character type and the size of address is 30 character. City we also specify in character type and the size of city is 10 character. Now if you want to apply unique constraint, then you can specify unique as we specify primary key with after the data type of a particular field. You can specify the unique constant here, or you can individually specify the constant by giving at the end unique, then CNAME, address and city, means which fields, on which field you want to apply the unique constant. Now, the main thing is what is the difference between primary key and unique. Unique key also cannot contain duplicate values, and primary key cannot also contain duplicate values. And what will be the difference between the unique and primary key? Unique is the candidate key and primary is the main key. Then there can be more than one unique keys in a table, but there can be only one primary key in a particular table. There can be one primary key per table and several unique keys are allowed. Only primary key can be referenced by foreign key. Means if you want to join two tables, then for primary key will become the foreign key of other table with which you want to link that table. For this, only the primary key can be used, unique key cannot be used here, and DBMS may treat primary key differently or to create index on the primary key. And in unique field or unique keys, null values are permitted, but null values are not permitted in primary keys. So these are the major differences between primary keys and unique keys. Now, some other attribute constraints are not null. Means if you want that the field should contain values, means if you want to specify a validation that the particular field should not be null, then you have to specify the constraint name not null. Means if you want to specify the B name should not be null, or if you want to apply the validation that there should be an entry, means the B name cannot be left blank, then you have to specify the not null constraint with the B name. Then next is check constraint. Check constraint is used to specify the range or to check the limits of the values entered. For example, balance is a field which is of integer type and which cannot be null. Means you have to specify the balance, but you want to be sure that balance should be greater than equal to 0. Then you apply the check constant here to check the balance. That balance should be greater than 0. Next is referential integrity constraints. Referential integrity constraint states that the foreign key can take the values from its primary key only. Means if the primary key here has total 4 values or 5 values, then the foreign key can take the values only from these values, and the foreign key cannot take any other values than the values in the primary key. Means the domain of the foreign key should be the values of the primary key only. The foreign key's values cannot be other than the primary key of the other table. In other words, you can state that the referential integrity ensures that the foreign key value should be equal to the primary key value. Next is global constraints. You can apply constraints on multiple tables or multiple columns. Like single relation, constraint spans multiple columns. You can apply check constraint here. And if you want to specify check constant for more than one field, then you can use and, or, and not operand. For example, if you want to check the B city not be equals to BKLN or S should be greater than 5M, then you can use or operand. In short, if you want to categorize the constant in different fields, then in case of key constraint, where you can declare the key constraint at create table, that is by primary key and unique, it affects the insertion and updations. Next is attribute constraint, that is not null and check constraint, it also affects the insertion and updations. Then referential integrity to specify the foreign key references. Then it affects the insertion into the references relation. It affects the updates of the reference relation of the relevant attributes. It affects the deletion from the reference relation, and it also affects the global reference relations. Next is global constraints, that is table tag check attributes. You can declare in the table tag check, and outside the table, that is creation assertions. Next is normalization. Now, what is the meaning of normalization? It is the process that improves the database design by generating the relations of the higher normal forms. Means the basic purpose of normalization is to remove the redundancy, to remove the dependency, and to improve the database design by generating the relations of the higher normal forms. In your syllabus, we have to cover total 3 or 4 forms, that is first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, and BCNF, that is boycott normal form. Now, there is a sequence to the normal form, that is first normal form, second normal form, third normal form, and boycott normal form, known as BCNF. First normal form is considered the weakest normal form. Second normal form is stronger than first normal form, and if a table or if a database is in second normal form, then it must be in first normal form also. Then third normal form, which is stronger than second normal form and first normal form, and if we say a particular database is in third normal form, then it means it is also in second and first normal form. And if we talk about BCNF, BCNF is considered the strongest between these 4 normal forms. And also, if the table is in BCNF, it means it is in third normal form also. But if the relation is in third NF, then you cannot state that it is in BCNF also. You can see a relation is in BCNF is also in third NF, and relation is in third NF is also in second normal form, and relation is in second normal form is also in first normal form. Now, first of all, we have to understand the concept of functional dependencies. What is the meaning of functional dependency? We say an attribute B is functionally dependent on other attribute A if for any 2 records which have the same value for A, then the value for B in those records must be the same. Means for each value of B, there must be a unique record in A. Then you can say that B is functionally dependent on A. For example, suppose we keep the track of employee email address and we only track one email address for each employee. Then suppose each employee is identified a unique employee number, then we say the functional dependency of email address on employee number. Means email address is functionally dependent on employee number because each email address there is one unique employee number available. Similarly, if EMP number is a primary key, then if you want to state the functional dependencies, then we can state that the EMP email is functionally dependent on EMP number because for each EMP email there must be one EMP number exists. For each EMP first name, that is F name, there must be one EMP number exist. For each EMP element there must be one EMP number exist. So this is the functional dependency. Here you can see the functional dependencies are depicted in 3 ways. EMP male, EMP F name and EMP L name is functional dependent on EMP number. EMP email, EMP F name, EMP last name, the functional dependent on EMP number, and same is depicted by the third method, that is email function F name and L name is functionally dependent on EMP number. Next is determinant. Now, what is determinant? Determinant means attribute on the left hand side in the functional dependency is known as the determinant of the functional dependency. In this example, you can say that EMP NUM is the determinant of EMP email. Now, next is transitive dependency. Transitive dependency means consider an attribute A, B and C. If B is functionally dependent on A and C is functionally dependent on B, then functional dependencies are transitive, which means that if B is functionally dependent on A and C is dependent on B, it means C is also dependent on A. This is the transitive dependency, that is C is transitively dependent on A through B. And this department number is transitively dependent on EMP number. For example, here the department number is functionally dependent on EMP number. Employee email is also functionally dependent on EMP number. But if we talk department name, then department name is dependent on department number only. Now you can derive that the department name or department number is transitively dependent on EMP number from this equation. This is the transitive dependency. Means if A is dependent on B is dependent on A and C is dependent on B, then you can state that the C is also dependent on A. Next is partial dependency. Partial dependency exists when an attribute B is functionally dependent on an attribute A and A is a component of a multi-part candidate key. For example, in this, candidate keys are env_num and line_num, and invoice date is partially dependent on the invoice number and it is not dependent on the line number. Means invoice number and line number compositely make a particular key, and if any non-key is dependent on a part of this primary key, then it is known as partial dependency. This is all about the dependencies, the normalization and need of normalization. Now there are further different types of normalization, that is first normal form, second normal form, third normal form and boycott normal form, which we'll cover in the next session. Thank you.